Welcome to a beautiful winter's day in Sweden. It's blue sky, the sun is up, but it's quite cold today. It's minus 22, I think it is, 23 maybe. It was 25 this morning. So I have the diesel heater started in the workshop, and for quite some time now I have as you can see here, smells a little bit like burnt plastic. I hope it's alright. I have the heating gun on my old Avant compact loader because I don't feel like cold starting it when it's this cold outside. Sounds a little cranky. Doesn't sound like it has that much battery in this cold. I never replaced the battery on it. I had this machine for probably 5 years or something. And I bought it used, and I can't imagine that the battery was new when I got it. It's done 4,000 hours and looks like it has done 400,000 hours. But it runs great when it starts, which it doesn't sound like it actually wants to right now. That's too bad. But my project that I'm working on now is a trolley crane, I think it's called. I have this beam here that's a 140 millimeters by 140 millimeters, and I'm going to try to put it up in the roof of my workshop. My workshop is an old barn, so I bought a few pieces of angle iron. As you can see here in the roof, it's wood beams, and these are 100 millimeters by 200 millimeters, and they are every other meter. So my plan is to bolt an angle iron on this piece here, straight across, bolt it through with nuts and bolts, and the same in through that beam there. I'm going to put them quite high, so the bolts are going through the middle of the beam, and that will make the rails for this for the trolley crane. And as you can see here, I've spent a couple of hours with my old angle grinder, and I cut these steel plates out of 10 millimeter. So I got 2 of these plates, one for each side of the beam, and the beam will fit 10 millimeters up here and up until this marking here. Here I will drill 12 millimeter holes, and I'm going to bolt down these extended nuts. I'm going to bolt them through there and then slip a bearing on like that, and put another bolt here to keep the bearing from slipping off. And my plan here is to have these rolling on the angle irons in the roof. And then I have a similar construction that's going to roll onto this beam, and that's this plates here. I'm going to drill 2 12 millimeter holes into the plate, and I'm also going to, an old trick you've seen everybody do it, is to make one edge nice and flat. Take a look at the other edges. As you can see, it's a little bit there and it's a little bit down here. Then you weld these plates together, you drill the holes, then you get them matched up exactly, and then you grind the pieces into the exact same size. That way you get a nice fitment. This piece is going to be welded in between. Here I can hang my chain hoist. I'm going to weld it, and this will create the carriage that's going to roll onto this steel beam here that will be suspended on another set of rollers to my roof. And I don't know if you used a mag drill before, but as you can see, it's you can cut out the core, and this pin in here is spring loaded, and that shoots out the core when you're done. Well, I'm going to position it. It's hard to work when you have these thick winter gloves on. It's actually quite a pain. But what to do when it's 22 Celsius? And the pin also has a sharp point on it, so it's easy to put it in there. Guys, that's sweet. I don't know what that took. I'm going to watch the video and I'm going to tell you what it took in time to drill holes in 4 10mm plates, 12mm holes. It's so fast when you have nice equipment. And as I said, it's a cheaper version of a mag drill. But in my opinion, buy a cheaper mag drill and better drills. That's way more efficient than buying an expensive mag drill and shit drill bits. I've grinded everything down. Now you just take a hammer and tap them together. Tap them apart. Like that. Alright. These are finished. It's one set of plates. Let's get into another set of plates. See if they, oh yeah, split right up, goody goody. Alright, so they're not exactly the same size, but the only important thing is this edge down here compared to the two holes up here, because I'm going to line this edge up with a beam, and these two holes are for the rollers. So that's the only important, that they are parallel, and I grinded them flat on both of them. So if it's a little bit crooked, at least it's the same amount of crooked. Alright, so I'm going to weld these into place, or at least tack them for now. I'm running out of time and I'm running out of steam. The important part here is that the beam is parallel to the holes. So the beam is straight when it's hanging on the rails in the roof. And also that it's pretty much centered. I don't know, that's 2 on this side. That's not 2 on that side. That's probably more like 4mm. I'm going with 13 there, and then I have 10 there. Right, so that's in the middle of it. And Alright, so that's all 4 corners. That's nice. That's one down. So this is the plan. Bolt the rollers onto this, put them up into the rails in the roof, slide this whole beam across this way, and then the chain hoist with another set of rollers can roll this way, like a regular bridge crane. Oh, I have one more plate for the other end, but for now I'm going to tack this together, and I don't know how. Or I know how. I just don't know what's the best way to do it. I'm guessing. Clampy, clamp, clamp. Like that. Nice and 90. I have made markings on the inside of the plates, so I get it centered. Or maybe I haven't. There it is. So I can get it centered. And like a little bit of tacky tack on the top there, while I try to hold this into position, which always is a nice task. Oh, I really put this clamp in. Oh my god. It's holding on for dear life. Alright, that's a little better. Alright, so there you go. There you go. I think that's straight there. It's a little bit crooked that way. So if I weld another tack down here, the weld, when it cools, it will shrink, and then the plate will work its way over here a little bit. Let's see if it works. At least that's the plan. Now when the weld cools, it shrinks and it will work the plate a little bit over to the other side. Yep, perfect. Or not perfect, but good enough. I'll put my chain hoist into there, and I will reinforce the top of it so it doesn't
not even
collapse on me or anything. This is the worst piece.
Yep, so that's the plan.
Maybe I made it a little bit as you can see here, but it can't clamp this. Show you guys what I mean. This is poor craftsmanship on my side. There it's straight. This piece is supposed to line up with the top of that. And it doesn't. So I have to remove it, cut it a little bit. Or maybe not remove it, but alright, I'll do this. This piece is not even. This is the worst piece of cutting I have ever done. Alright, as you can see here. Clamp this. Show you guys what I mean. This is poor craftsmanship on my side. There it's straight. This piece is supposed to line up with the top of that. And it doesn't. So I have to remove it, cut it a little bit. That's sweet, dude. Right, so it's not lightweight. It's made of 10mm steel. It's pretty heavy. All right. Alright, so it's time to fully weld everything here. I cleaned it up a little bit. I don't mind the rust. The welding, stick welding usually takes care of it. I bought this at Lidl. It was the Parkside brand. They do an alright job. I don't like them that much, and I'll show you once I put this bead down. Alright. Alright, you can see the difference here. This is the Parkside, and this is an E-sub stick. Both of them are 2.5 millimeters, and both of them ran at exactly the same amount of amperage. I have 88. The slag on the Parkside stick is non-consistent. As you can see here on the E-sub stick, it's consistent, and when I weld with the E-sub, the slag keeps a couple of millimeters away from the arc, but on the Parkside, it runs into the arc all the time. So I have to work a lot harder with the stick to get rid of it. But the end result is that might not be the proudest moment of my welding life, but anyways. The end result is similar. Both of them. This side I haven't tacked just yet. I'm going to do that first. Measured everything so it's nice and square. Always nice to tack it blind. I have no idea what it looks like or if it's holding, but I hope so anyways. Yep, that will do. Alright, so this is the plan. These rollers are going to roll on the angle iron in the roof and slide back and forth. I'm going to bolt them with a shorter pair of M12 bolts to keep the rollers from sliding off. And the same concept on the carriage for the chain hoist. There is where I'm going to hook the chain hoist, and then I can slide it back and forth. And it's smooth enough. This will only lift like 250 kilos anyways. So this is turning out to be quite a long episode. So I'm going to end it here, and it's going to be a part 2. And I'm going to leave you with a couple of pictures from when I extended the beam. I didn't have a beam that was long enough, so I welded 2 parts together. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you will stay tuned for part 2.